Ambassador Thelxar had served in the Galactic Senate for 47 cycles, representing the Kellian Confederacy with pride and precision. In all those years, one mystery had gnawed at him like a persistent parasite, the empty seat bearing the placard, Earth, Terran Republic. The humans had been granted Senate membership 3 decades ago. Following their unexpected emergence into galactic society, they had arrived with primitive fusion drives and audacious dreams, having barely mastered their own solar system. The Council, in what many considered misguided generosity, had offered them a seat, one that remained perpetually vacant. They simply don't care about galactic politics, Ambassador Vryn of the Tholian Empire often remarked, her chitinous faceplates clicking with disdain, typical of such a young species, too busy with their own trivial affairs. Thelxar had accepted this explanation for years, until today. The emergency session had been called by the Archon himself, an unprecedented event. The chamber buzzed with speculation as the 2,000 representatives from across the galaxy settled into their pods. Thelxar noticed something unusual. 3 humans in plain gray uniforms stood at the entrance, their faces unreadable, esteemed members of the Galactic Senate. The Archon's voice resonated through the chamber, his crystalline form pulsing with agitation. We face a crisis that threatens the very fabric of our civilization. The Dravix horde has broken through the outer rim defenses. 17 systems have fallen in the past solar week. Their fleet now advances toward the core worlds. Pandemonium erupted. The Dravix were the galaxy's nightmare made manifest. A swarm intelligence that consumed entire worlds, converting all biological and technological matter into more of themselves. They had been dormant for a millennium, contained beyond the galactic barrier by ancient defense stations. The defense stations? Thelxar asked, his voice barely audible above the chaos. Destroyed, the Archon replied grimly. All 47 of them, simultaneously. The implications were staggering. Those stations had been built by the progenitors themselves, considered indestructible by modern standards. If the Dravix could eliminate them so easily, no fleet in the known galaxy stood a chance. We must evacuate the outer rim, Chancellor Vox proposed, his tentacles writhing anxiously. Pull back to the core and establish a new defensive perimeter. That would doom 600 billion souls, Senator Kreath protested. Better 600 billion than 6 trillion, Vox countered coldly. As the Senate descended into heated debate, one of the humans stepped forward. He was unremarkable by galactic standards. Average height, basic bipedal structure, no obvious enhancements or natural weapons. He simply stood there, waiting. It took several minutes before anyone noticed him. The Archon finally gestured for silence. You are? The Archon inquired. Captain Marcus Chen, Terran Defense Force, the human replied, his voice steady. We've been monitoring your situation. How generous, Ambassador Vryn sneered. Have the humans finally decided to grace us with their presence? Or are you here simply to witness the fall of civilizations that actually matter? The human's expression didn't change. We're here to inform you that the situation is contained. The chamber fell silent. Then laughter erupted, nervous, disbelieving laughter. Contained? The Archon echoed. Young Captain, I don't think you understand the severity. The Dravix horde's primary nexus has been neutralized, Captain Chen interrupted, pulling up a holographic display. Secondary and tertiary command clusters have been eliminated. Remaining Dravix forces are fragmented and regressing to primitive attack patterns. They'll be eliminated within 72 hours. The hologram showed a battlefield that defied comprehension. Where the Dravix horde should have been was simply nothing. Vast expanses of empty space where sensors detected only residual radiation and dissipating particles. This is impossible, Thelxar whispered. Our combined fleets couldn't even slow them down. Your fleets are designed for conventional warfare, another human spoke up, a woman with sharp eyes and graying hair. Admiral Sarah Okonkwo, Terran Strategic Command. The Dravix operate on predictable expansion algorithms. We've been studying them since your first recorded encounter 900 years ago. But how did you even engage them? Chancellor Vox demanded. Our fastest ships would take months to reach the outer rim. Captain Chen's expression finally shifted, a slight, almost apologetic smile. Ambassador, where exactly did you think Earth's defense budget was going? We don't attend Senate sessions because we've been busy. While the galaxy debated trade regulations and territorial disputes, humanity has been preparing for the threats you'd forgotten about. The Archon leaned forward, his crystalline structure refracting the chamber's light into prismatic patterns. Explain. Admiral Okonkwo obliged. Humanity learned a harsh lesson in our early history. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. When we joined the galactic community and accessed the historical archives, we didn't see wonders and peaceful cooperation. We saw patterns. The Draviks, the consuming tide, the void echoes, existential threats that appeared were barely defeated and would inevitably return. So while we maintained our trade agreements and honored our treaties, Captain Chen continued, we also built defense platforms you never detected, fleets operating in dimensional spaces you haven't discovered, weapons based on physics your scientists dismissed as theoretical impossibilities. You've been militarizing without authorization, Senator Kriath accused. This violates 17 different treaties. Actually, a third human stepped forward, a small woman with kind eyes and a diplomatic sash. It doesn't. Ambassador Liu Wei, Terran Diplomatic Corps. We've reviewed every treaty Earth signed. None prohibit defensive preparations in our own territory or in unclaimed space. We've broken no laws. The chamber erupted again, but this time the tone was different. Fear mixed with anger, shock blended with grudging respect. Why? Thelgzar found himself asking, his voice cutting through the noise. Why protect a galaxy that dismissed you? That mocked your empty seat? Captain Chen met his gaze. Because we're human, Ambassador. We don't abandon people just because they look down on us. Besides, he smiled genuinely now, someone had to do the actual work while you were all busy with politics. The Archon raised a crystalline appendage for silence. What does Earth want in return for this? Salvation? Admiral Okonkwo shrugged. Nothing you weren't already giving us. Trade, technology exchange, cultural cooperation.
We don't want to rule the galaxy, Archon.
We just want it to survive. Someone has to watch the walls while everyone else sleeps safely inside them. Ambassador Thelgzar looked at Earth's empty seat with new understanding. It wasn't empty because humans didn't care about galactic society. It was empty because they were too busy ensuring there would still be a galactic society to care about. The seat wasn't vacant. It was on guard duty, and suddenly Thelgzar felt grateful it had been.